The Zephyrian invasion fleet had expected nothing more than a routine conquest. Their sleek biometallic ships descended through Earth's atmosphere like silver teardrops, their sensors detecting primitive chemical rockets and crude satellites, technology that hadn't progressed beyond their own civilization's Stone Age equivalent. Admiral Kethvar of the Galactic Hegemony stretched his forearms in satisfaction as his flagship, Dominant Talon, led the armada toward the blue-green world below. Intelligence reports had been clear. This species called humans had barely achieved interplanetary flight. Their weapons were projectile-based, their energy sources still dependent on fossil combustion. It would be over in hours. Begin surface bombardment of major population centers, Kethvar commanded, his translator broadcasting the order across the fleet's neural network. Standard pacification protocol. Leave enough infrastructure for mining operations. The first Zephyrian plasma bolt struck major cities across the globe. New York, London, Tokyo, Mumbai. Pillars of fire rose toward the heavens as the aliens demonstrated their technological superiority. Emergency broadcasts filled human communication networks with panic and desperation. But something was wrong. Admiral, his tactical officer's voice carried an edge of confusion. We're detecting unusual energy signatures from the planet's surface. Massive power spikes occurring simultaneously at coordinates we haven't targeted. Kethvar's compound eyes focused on the holographic display. Across Earth's continents, geometric patterns of light were beginning to form. Complex arrays that stretched for kilometers, pulsing with energies his sensors couldn't properly classify. What are those formations? Before anyone could answer, the sky above Earth began to tear. It started as hairline cracks in the very fabric of space, spreading outward like fractures in glass. The cracks widened, revealing glimpses of something impossible. A vast darkness shot through with stars that weren't there moments before. The Zephyrian fleet's instruments screamed warnings as gravitational anomalies rippled through local space. Impossible, Kethvar breathed. They're opening dimensional rifts. The tiers in reality widened further, and through them emerged vessels that defied every assumption the hegemony had made about human civilization. These weren't the crude metal cylinders their scouts had observed. These were sleek, angular monsters of dark matter and crystalline energy, each one dwarfing the largest Zephyrian dreadnoughts. The lead human vessel was a behemoth of impossible geometry, its hull seeming to fold in on itself while simultaneously expanding into dimensions the alien mind couldn't properly perceive. Across its surface, symbols blazed with contained starfire, human writing that somehow burned with the power of nascent suns. "This is Admiral Sarah Chen of the Terran Defense Consortium," came a transmission that bypassed their encryption entirely, speaking directly into their minds in perfect Zephyrian. "You have committed acts of war against Earth and her colonies. You have 30 seconds to begin immediate withdrawal, or we will demonstrate why humans earned the right to join the Galactic Council as a Tier 1 civilization." Kethvar's mandibles clicked in disbelief. "Impossible. Our intelligence showed they haven't even achieved faster-than-light travel." "Sir," his communications officer's voice was barely a whisper, "I'm detecting 17 more rift points opening across the system. Massive energy signatures incoming." The Admiral's blood ran cold as the implications hit him. They'd been hiding their true capabilities. This was a trap. More human vessels poured through the dimensional tiers, carrier ships that launched fighters moving at significant fractions of light speed, support cruisers bristling with weapons that bent space itself, and massive fortress ships that seemed to exist in multiple dimensions simultaneously. Admiral Chen's voice continued calm and measured. "Our records show the hegemony has done this to 47 other worlds. We've been monitoring your expansion for decades, waiting for you to make the mistake of attacking a world under Terran protection. Today that ends." The largest human dreadnought began to charge what appeared to be its main weapon, a massive cannon that drew energy directly from folded space. The barrel began to emit a low harmonic that every Zephyrian could feel in their bones. "How?" Kethvar transmitted desperately. "Your technology, your civilization. You should be centuries from achieving dimensional manipulation." Chen's response carried what humans called amusement. "You assumed we were alone on this world, Admiral. What you saw were our public faces, the governments and corporations that handle day-to-day affairs. But humanity learned long ago that when you're developing into a spacefaring species, you keep your most dangerous children hidden. Across Earth's surface, the geometric light patterns were revealing their true nature. They weren't just energy collectors. They were the surface terminals of vast underground cities, research facilities, and military installations that had been developing in secret for generations. The humans you observed were our farmers, our artists, our teachers, Chen continued. The ones you're facing now are our engineers, our physicists, our soldiers. We've been preparing for this day since we first looked at the stars and realized we weren't alone. The human weapon finished charging, and space itself seemed to hold its breath. You have 15 seconds, Admiral. Kethvar looked at his tactical display, seeing his fleet of 3,000 vessels surrounded by human ships that violated every known law of physics. His pride warred with his survival instinct for exactly 12 seconds. All ships, he transmitted, immediate withdrawal, maximum velocity. As the Zephyrian fleet fled toward the edge of the solar system, Admiral Chen's final transmission followed them. Spread the word, Admiral. Earth is under Terran protection now, and humanity has very long memories. Behind them, the tiers in space began to close, the human fleet disappearing back into whatever impossible dimension they called home. But the message was clear. Humanity had been watching, waiting, and preparing. The galaxy would never underestimate them again.